Here is computer number 2. This was a $5 yard sale find by one of my coworkers, and there's not much good hardware inside it really, but the case is almost immaculate, and it's a standard micro ATX form factor, so I'm definitely going to reuse this case and build a new system with it. It's also got the my digital camera that I use at work still has compact flash. It's a really old camera. And I think this will make a real nice case to build a new office machine for my work, to replace my very tired Athlon 64 system that doesn't like cold weather. The only thing is this bay up here might be a little bit proprietary, but I think I could probably put a newer drive in there and make it work. At least, you know, if I have to take the faceplate out, no big deal, but I think I can just take the, snap this lid off the front of the drive tray there and put it on the newer drive. I think the drawers are all the same. But anyway, everything is in here. The power supply is missing because it had one of those dreadful Bestech ATX 1250E or whatever model it was. Real nasty, unreliable power supply that was notorious for blowing up motherboards. Well, I think this motherboard actually survived, but the power supply did not. To make a long story short, I plugged in the power cord when I first got this at work this morning, and before I even touched the button on the front, flames proceeded to explode out the back rather violently. So I said, well, looks like the 5-volt standby circuit is up in smoke, just like they usually are, but that's the first time I've ever seen one. It literally shot fire out the back and like pieces of silicon. Whatever blew up, it didn't smell good. But anyway, this has a Celeron D processor. It's real slow, no AGP, and I think it's got 512 meg of RAM, which is probably the most valuable component in this computer because I've got some older systems that could really use these chips. I'll just take this old motherboard out and processor, and I don't know what I'd ever do with it, but I'll, if it still works anyway, find a use for it somewhere or give it to somebody, I don't know. But I'm curious to see if there's anything on the hard drive or if this thing is going to boot up at all. So let me go in the other room and see if I can find a power supply that works, and I'll throw it in here real quick. Found this crappy Dynex power supply on the shelf. Fan controlled ATX 12 volt power supply. Ooh, fan controlled. That means it's got a thermal sensor that runs the fan very slow until the thing is about 100 degrees and then slightly speeds it up, but not quite enough to cool it with the, to stop it from getting damaged after a couple of years. But anyway, this power supply I think was working other than the AC connector's broken, so I guess I'm going to have to switch it out and get a different one. That's not going to work. There's no prongs in there. Outtake. Probably the first outtake clip. I guess I'll leave it in though, because it's kind of funny. Screw getting another one, I'm in too much of a hurry. Just grab the prongs with some needle nose and pull them out so that you can plug the cord on. Do not try this at home. I'm a professional idiot. Okay. Everything's hooked up. I have standby power. Let's see what happens. I did turn this on this morning, but didn't have a monitor or anything hooked up. I think it did boot though, because I heard the CPU fan slow down, so that's usually a good sign. If it stays on full speed, it usually means it's not booting. But anyway, here we go. Aha. Celeron D. I'll take a Pentium 4 over that any day. They try to confuse you with that Celeron D crap because they got the Pentium D, which was actually a dual core, but the Celeron D is only a single core. Start Windows normally. Another thing about this case is it still has the Windows XP COA on the back of it. Another bonus. build a new computer with it and be able to do a fresh install. Let's see what we got here. Wonder how many viruses are on this doggone thing. A lot of people ask me what kind of keyboard this is, because I've had it in quite a few videos. It's an Intergraph, probably from the early 90s. It's just a multimedia keyboard with some speakers built in. Really comes in handy though. AVG antivirus might be out of date. Oh no. Listen to that hard drive trucking away. That's a Hitachi Desk Star in there, 60 gig. If I ever get my mouse, there we go. Wow, somebody really arranged things their own way on this. What in the world? Any music on here? No music. Ah. There is music on here. Only a handful of songs though. Nothing really worth messing with. Let's see. 05, track 5. What's this?
Something that can make you do wrong.
Some sort of blues.
Yeah. Sitting here.
Huh. Looks like the last time they used this was around 2000. Well, no, it had to be later in 2005. Yeah, gotta love that screamo. But anyway, looks like this would be a nice little case for a rebuild. I'll probably use a socket 1155 platform, or maybe some modern AMD platform, socket FM1. Some kind of budget system that also has decent performance, and just kind of make this into a nice little computer. As long as it's got a parallel port on the back, because my RAM burner that I use at work is parallel port only, and it will not work with a USB to parallel port adapter because of the necessity of the legacy I/O range that the onboard port has. I really wish they would fix that so I could use a USB adapter though, because I want to use a mini ITX system for my machine at work, but almost none of those have a parallel port. Anyway, I might do a follow-up on this. I gotta talk to the boss and see if I can get some parts ordered. Since this is going to be my work machine, I'm not gonna build this one out of my own pocket. Let's see what I got next.